year made me realize that you can have these material things. You can have your Birkin and all the other mess, but I care far more about the relationships that I have. I care far more about the personal lives that I'm able to touch. I care far more about who I am. Like for real, like when no one else is watching, who am I really? That's what I care about far more than I do about being a machine and producing content for myself or anybody else. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Paradoxical Joy. I'm your girl Joy, and wow, it has been a hot minute since I've sat down in front of this camera talking to you guys like this, and it's been even longer since I've done a Wine Wednesday. So basically, if you don't know what a Wine Wednesday is, we drink our wine, we talk our mess, and it all happens on a Wednesday. And so if you want to see some other Wine Wednesdays, I will link the playlist down below in the description box. And while you're down there, you might as well go check out some of my other videos from 2020 and just beyond. And you also might want to check out my blog. Yeah, because I'll be writing and I'll be videoing, and we're lit. So in this video, we are going to be recapping 2020. And honestly, I have no idea what I'm about to say. Like, a lot of my sit down videos, I usually prep or think through or whatever, but I was trying to sit and think about what I really wanted to say about this year, and I was like, you know what? It's just gonna have to come straight from the head, because this whole year, it feels like it was multiple years in one, and trying to really encompass it all in a few minutes is going to be difficult, but we're gonna make it work. But before we get into that, let's get into our wine. So today we are going to be drinking a white. I usually drink a red on this channel, but we're gonna be drinking a white, and we're gonna be having a Riesling. If you're not familiar, it's like a dessert wine. I'm not gonna show you guys the brand because no one has sent me some money. So if someone wants to send me some money, paradoxicaljoy@gmail.com, paradoxicaljoy on all social media, slide into my DMs, and let's talk coins, let's talk sponsorship, let's talk partnership. 2021, I'm where the money reside, okay? So let's go ahead and pull it up. And of course, y'all know I got my handy dandy wine mug. I was trying to be on some grown-up stuff this time around and get a proper wine glass, but I just haven't found one that I really like yet. So wine mug it is. Hey, okay. Woo-wee. Okay, so we got our wine here. Don't know if y'all can properly see that. There it is. Let's give her a taste. Okay. Okay. She's cute. She's not as sweet as I thought she would be, but she's a lot sweeter than what I remember her to be. So, we like it. Okay. Let's get into 2020. Okay, let's start with 2020's resolutions and the plans that I had for 2020. So I just spent a few minutes looking through my resolutions, and this is I've been doing like New Year's resolutions probably really consistently and in a similar format since 2017. And previous years, even though I might not have accomplished them in the way that I thought that I would, I accomplished them in a way that was still similar enough that I could be like, I feel proud of my accomplishments. And if you guys want to, know more about how I kind of achieve my goals and stuff like that, I will link down in the description box below the video where I'm talking about how I achieved my goals in 3 simple steps. So 2020 was just a curveball. It was a curveball because the mindset that I was in when I wrote those resolutions was in a completely different mindset than I was halfway through the year, even 3 months into the year. And this is like, pandemic aside. When I wrote my resolutions, I was unemployed. I don't even know if I've talked about that on this channel. I wrote a blog post about it, but I don't know if I've fully talked about it. But I was unemployed at the time, and so my resolutions were actually pretty career focused, but they were more focused on like building my brand than they were on working with other organizations or whatever. And of course that makes sense because I was unemployed and I didn't know how long that was going to last. So I was trying to make goals that I like with the idea if I was devoting the whole year, because the idea was if I don't get a job, I'm going to devote this whole year to my business, my brand, and the things that I want to do. And so I had really high expectations. I think I might have talked about in a video. I can't even fully recall, but I wanted like so many subscribers, and I wanted my Instagram followers to be like just so much more than they are. And it was very numbers focused when it came to business and career. And then on the other side, I had like a list of things that I want to do for personal, and they kind of almost go hand in hand because, right, if I'm wanting to increase my subscriber count significantly, that means I'm going to have to be putting out more videos, which means I'm going to have to be looking decent in those videos. So like one of my things was like, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself more. So like getting my nails done, hair done, things like that, because I don't want to come on here looking like somebody's grandma that some people's grandmas be cute, so let me not do that. But I just didn't want to come on here looking crusty, basically. And I also wanted to have like a year filled with enjoyment to a certain extent, as much as I could. But I was so focused on business and career. And then I ended up getting a job in February. That was just a really great opportunity. If you guys don't know, I'm an event and marketing coordinator for a nonprofit in Dallas. So that was an amazing opportunity. So that shifted things. And then literally, I think it was about a month into my job, less than a month, pandemic hit. And that's when everything just kind of took a turn in a direction that we did not see coming. And I think one of the things about 2020 is it revealed a lot of things that were maybe always there, were probably always going to be revealed, but it revealed it at an accelerated rate. It was crazy because things were being revealed, growth, my own personal growth, for me, the growth of my organization and my responsibilities, just things escalated so much, and like my to-do list got longer, but yet time slowed down at the same time. It was a paradox. Okay, it was very paradoxical. So it was almost frustrating because it felt like I had more time than ever, but my to-do lists were also longer. So it was a growing pain. It was a very uncomfortable transition. And at first, when I started working from home, I did not think it was going to be permanent. I thought we were going to be gone for a few weeks and then we were going to come back. I still have not gone back full-time to work. So, and I don't see that happening for this foreseeable future, or the near future anyways. So I had to learn how to redo everything that I was learning to do while starting a whole new job. And, a shout out to anyone who is in marketing, PR, any of the things like that. That while some other people or other departments in your companies or just other businesses might have slowed down, that's when a crisis hits, that's when you ramp up. So it was like, we're working from home. You would think that things have slowed down. Everyone's like, oh, got time for TikTok dances. I didn't, because now we are moving all of our events. We're trying to figure out how to make them digital. Now our social media and the content that we push out is that much more important. And it was just basically everything that was supposed to be in person, all of our goals, everything just changed overnight. And then we also have to release public, what's it called? Public press releases and statements, keeping our external audiences updated. And it's not like I work for Target where it's like, girl, put on your mask before you come into the store. Not to diminish the work that those marketing and PR and whatever teams are doing. I work for a local nonprofit that has to deal with children, and so we have multiple people that we have to answer to, and we have multiple people that we have to answer for. So and I am one of the main people at my job that is a liaison between the outside and the inside world. And so that was a very interesting, and we obviously didn't know that it was going to be like this. So we're trying to keep people informed. We're trying to be on top of the ball, but we also have no idea what's going to happen next. So it was a very interesting, stressful, crazy situation. So it's like the work has increased from working at home, even though it feels like it should be more relaxed, it's not. And so it's very weird. And then I also started going to therapy in May. And that was also an unexpected thing. I had always thought about going to therapy in this year, but I thought it was going to be a lot later in the year. And then that was a lot because I'm going to therapy, work has increased, we're doing a lot of social media campaigns that I am building out, and a lot of that stuff I'm doing by myself. I am either going out to our, masking up and going to our on-site to capture footage and videos and different types of media and whatnot. I'm building out the copy, building out months worth of content. Like, it was a lot. And on top of that, I'm still maintaining this channel and also my blog. And on top of that, I am going to therapy. And therapy was something that I entered in lightly. If I had known the amount of work that I would work through in therapy, I don't know if I would have jumped into it, but I'm so glad that I did. But I think I posted this on my Instagram a few weeks, probably months ago, because I haven't posted on there in a minute. And I was like, emotional labor is still labor. And so it's like, yes, I am just sitting in therapy for an hour, but in therapy, things are being revealed to me or I am revealing whatever, that I have to now process and work through on top of trying to get these deadlines and do these things. So it was just a lot. It was a lot happening, and I did not give myself enough credit for all the things that I was juggling and doing. Because again, you're working from home, and I have a job. I'm so blessed. I'm so fortunate. I cannot complain. I'm not sick. You know what I mean? Like, I had so many things to be grateful for when I'm looking at what's happening on the news. At the same time, I'm still going through a lot. And then Black Lives Matter, it was just, it was very hard. It was getting to a place, especially over the summer, where it was very hard to find joy. Find and hold on to joy. But it made it that much more important to do so. This year was really about when you find your joy, hold on to it no matter what, whether if that's in a TikTok video, whether that's Tabitha Brown, whether it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, no matter what the thing is, hold on to it and don't let it go. And you deserve rest. You deserve time to relax. You deserve time to figure your stuff out. You deserve your time, your energy, your space. You deserve the things. You deserve them. And not only do you deserve them, but you need to take them. That's something that I really had to focus on this year. Going back to the not giving myself enough credit, I remember in September, I actually saw one of my friends. Like, I didn't really see. The only exception that I made to seeing people throughout this whole pandemic, because this time I've been living with my mother, who is high risk. So I've been very careful about going out and interacting with people. So the only times when I made real exceptions, this in the last, what has it been, since March, can't even do math right now, since March, have really been my birthday and my friends' birthdays, because actually it's funny, a lot of my friends turned 25 this year, and we all know 25 is a big birthday year. So I made exceptions for those things. And I remember in September I went to go see one of my oldest friends, and I was just literally like, and it was nice because it was one of the first times since the pandemic where I was really interacting with her and some of her friends and being outside, and it was beautiful outside, and just getting life from other people and other things besides a Zoom call. And I remember just like sitting on her couch, and I literally was just crying. I was just so, it was so funny because I thought that, oh, I cannot wait until I go and see her and I'm with her or whatever, because I'm going to feel so much better about, you know, all the things that are going on in my life and how stressed out I feel and how just unhappy I am with circumstances. And I remember I was just literally on her couch, just literally crying, just bawling. And that was so surprising to me because in the past, when things weren't going well, sometimes, like, and I tried to kind of do internal work, sometimes that wouldn't help, but seeing my friends would always help. And so to be somewhere where in theory I should be happy, or think like I should be more like in a different scenario, and where for the most part, like it, sorry, let me be clear. 2020 has also highlighted that you can be two things at once. Because when I was there, I was so happy to be there. I'm so glad I saw her. So glad I got to celebrate that moment with her. Would not change that for the world. Wouldn't change any of it. And at the same time, I was so sad inside and so unfulfilled and so many questions. And it was just, I felt uncomfortable in my mind. And there was nothing wrong. Like, it was crazy because it wasn't like I'm not hungry, I got a roof over my head. You know, even with when you think about like my mental health issues or problems, I'd worked through so much stuff at that point. Like it was just like there was nothing that I could point to really and be like, this is the issue. And that made it that much more frustrating because I didn't know what it was. And I think it was the idea that I'm trying to plan for the future, but I have no idea what it looks like. And for someone like me that loves my to-do lists, that loves my to be planned, type A, all that, it was not good. It was not good because it was cute. It was cute in April. It was cute in July. But by the time September came around and I didn't know what was going to happen next, it wasn't cute anymore. And I'm also overwhelmed with work and all the other things going on in my life. It was not cute anymore. And I had to learn to hold on to joy. And I had to learn that and this control freakiness about me, it was all an illusion because, granted, I knew that, I knew that I had to be at work, like I had more of an understanding or more of an idea of what would happen next than I do now. I have no idea when this pandemic will be over, when we'll be able to go outside or whatever. No idea what the next 6 months are going to look like. But before I had more of a realistic idea, and now I have no clue. But I had to realize it was a facade, it was an illusion, and that I don't need control over things. I don't need to know what happens next. And I can't do anything about it. I can only control myself, and I can only control the present. And I started to make where I am where I wanted to be. And I talk a lot more about this in, I think, my Exposing My Mental Health video, which I will link down below. And that was hard. It was hard to kind of get there because I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to it felt like I was standing still, and I'm not a standstill person. Stagnation and me are not friends. Like we're actually on opposite sides. I've always been someone that naturally progresses, naturally is trying to move forward, and it was very frustrating because it was like I could be moving forward to the next thing, but I don't know what next looks like, one. And two, there's nowhere to go because pandemic. So it's like, oh, I'm feeling lonely. Let me go hang out with people. What people? Pandemic. I'm sad, or, I want to go try new food. Where are you going to go? Pandemic. You can't travel. Pandemic. Like, it was just like, wow, I felt stuck. and I was tired of looking at the same four walls. And so because of that, I ended up redoing my entire room, which you can see glimpses of. You probably have seen glimpses of maybe in some of my other videos. I can't quite remember. You will definitely be seeing a lot more in 2020. And I completely remodeled my whole room, and that was life-changing. Because I needed some new energy. It was a breath of fresh air to be able to change up my space. And I didn't do it initially because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be at home that long. It doesn't really matter. And also because I was hoping to move out of this house a lot sooner. And I thought that I would be able to do that. And then I said, you know what? I could pay rent, or I could like save that money to do things that I actually want to do. And then I was able to make this investment into my room and changing up my furniture and everything. And it was, you know, it was a little stressful, not gonna lie, but it was very refreshing. And it's very nice to have a place for everything now. And it's not 100% finished, but it is, I feel renewed. And so that was a very big help to, even though I couldn't necessarily change like the outside, I could change the inside. And that was very freeing for me. Okay, so let's go back to not fully, not giving myself all the credit that I deserved. I was sitting down the other day and thinking about this year, my accomplishments, comparing what I thought my New Year's resolutions would be like, or like what I was expecting to accomplish by the end of this year versus what I actually did. Like I said, I was so focused on building this brand and this business that most of my resolutions had to do with this and the numbers that I wanted to see. Unfortunately, I did not meet any of those numbers. Honestly did not come anywhere close. I honestly felt like I wasn't doing enough for this channel. I wasn't doing enough for my blog. I wasn't doing enough on Instagram. I wasn't doing enough for my brand. That's honestly how I felt. I felt like I was slacking. I felt like I was lazy. I felt like at some times, never incompetent, never enough that I had the skill, but that I was lazy. That's what I really thought that. I remember one of my first sessions of thinking when I was going to therapy, of thinking like, wow, I'm so lazy. I've heard people call me lazy before. I've called my own self lazy, and not realizing that when I tap out, when I can no longer do something, it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I don't have it. I don't have the energy to do it anymore. It's because I work differently than other people, and it's because I need to hold myself to my own standard, not anyone else's. So I'm not lazy. I just don't have the energy for this today. I'm a human being and not a machine. And that was something I had to really learn, that I am a human being. I'm imperfect. I am not a machine. And that is something I'm taking into 2021 for real. So not giving myself enough credit, thinking that I wanted all these numbers for 2020. Now looking back, I've been in marketing. I graduated. I've been doing marketing, social media for years now. Since probably freshman year of college. So about 6 years now. This year, I have produced, edited, executed, planned, come up with all the fancy words that you see in a movie credit, double as much content than I did last year. The most amount of content that I have ever in life. I have done videos. I have done the Instagram, IGTV. I have done scripts. I have written, I have worked with actual production crews this year. I have casted people this year. I have hired people this year. I have produced shows this year. I have written copy for websites, social media, newsletters. I have built hundreds of graphics this year. I have rebranded my own personal stuff this year. I have written I've written twice as many blog posts as I did last year. I have redone websites, my own and organizations. I have done so much more content. I have pushed out so much more, and it is so crazy to me. Probably since March, and I'm lowballing here, but I'll say since March 1st, I've had probably at least 2 posts go up on social media. And that's lowballing, because that's not even including all the things that I did for my personal this year. That's not and that's just like saying, oh, I posted it, and that's not including diversifying Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. Baby, your girl has been doing the thing this year, for real, for real. I have edited so freaking much this year. I have executed successfully multiple campaigns this year. I have raised more money than ever before, but I've raised more money for my organization than they pay me. I've done the things, okay? I've done the things, for real. And I'm not saying all of that to boast in my abilities, because God, first of all, first and foremost, only because of Christ Jesus, my Lord. And second of all, I'm saying all of that to say that while I have done so much more work, and I have the things to back me up, basically. Wherever I want to go from here, whatever I want to do, I have things to back me up, basically. And as lovely and as proud of that as I am, I realize that the actual content that I'm really proud of is very minimal compared to how much content I actually pushed out this year. And 2021, I want to change that. I want more quality than quantity. And I want to be where the money resides, for real, for real. And I want more money, and yeah, we'll just leave that there. So, and on top of that, this year I also became debt-free. So, there's accomplishments here. If I look at this whole year and I look at all the things that I went through, all the emotions, the internal, external work, I've killed it. I killed this year. And you want to know what the crazy thing is that it does not feel like that. As much as it might be like, oh, she's debt free. Oh, she produced content this year. Oh, da 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 da. It doesn't feel like that to me. To me, it feels like I barely made it. That's the crazy part. And that's why going into 2021, I care far less about numbers. I care far less about the acknowledgement of other people when it comes to my work, or anything that has to do with me, honestly. I don't need your approval anymore. I don't need to, I'm not an entry-level person anymore. I'm not someone that's going into rooms needing to prove myself. I have receipts now. The resume is stacked. If y'all watch Real Housewives of Potomac, I just binged it. And I feel like I'm Wendy with my 4 degrees. Okay, I feel like every situation, I'm like, I got 4 degrees. Okay, I got things to back me up now. And I don't want to say it in a way that's condescending or, again, boastful. I'm saying it in a way that it's so crazy to me to have these accomplishments. I'm debt free, you guys. That is not something that I thought would happen as fast as it did. It's not. I'm so happy, elated, proud of that. And yet I'm not fulfilled by it. This year made me realize that you can have these material things. You can have your Birkin and all the other mess, but I care far more about the relationships that I have. I care far more about the personal lives that I'm able to touch. I care far more about who I am. Like for real, like when no one else is watching, who am I really? That's what I care about far more than I do about being a machine and producing content for myself or anybody else. And that's why I haven't been posting on here. It's been a few weeks. I haven't been posting on any of the social medias because I needed to take a break. I need to take a break, period. Because doesn't even matter. I need to take a break, period. I needed time to refresh. I needed time to relax, and I needed time to reevaluate what I want 2021 to look like. And I want to be shameless. I want to be someone that does not allow the standards of other people to affect how I decide to move forward with my work, with my character, with anything that has to do with me. And I want to be where the money resides. Okay, I do want to do that. And I also want to have more intentional and impactful relationships with people that I really truly care about. And also, continue to, hang out with, my bestie Jesus, and there's other things that I want to do. But 2020 has definitely changed everything. I felt like I was on a specific path, even though when I started this year, it wasn't clear. It wasn't evident, but I felt like I was still on it, like I felt like, oh, this might be a little bump in the road with being unemployed or whatever other obstacles, but now I'm not even, I feel like it has shaken up, 2020 has shaken up everything. And I'm no longer on that path. I feel like I'm on like the road less traveled, and that was very scary to me at one point. That was very unnerving to me. And now I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. The road less traveled is the one that is the most fun, the messiest parts of life, the parts that don't make sense, the parts that you can't outline or calendar block or create to-do lists for. Those are the parts that I've enjoyed. Getting to reconnect with my friends in a different way, getting to spend some really good quality time with my family more than ever before, becoming more confident and assured in who I am, working through some of my trauma and my imperfections and accepting them and knowing how to move forward. I've done a lot of work, both internal and external, this year, and I'm very, 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 very proud of myself. And I'm saying this because I don't say it enough. And I just want to take this energy into 2021. It's like, I feel like 2020 really cleared up my vision of what I want my life to be like, and the vision of where I'm going. I might not know the specifics or the day-to-days. I don't need to know that. But I know that I'm going somewhere good, and I know that I'm going to change lives. It's really just that. Nothing more, nothing less. And I know that I'm called to do amazing things. And I know that God's got me. Period. And I'm not afraid of anyone or anything or any virus, disease, none of it. I've always been good. I'm gonna continue to be good. I am good. And it's just that. Period. Okay, so this video has definitely been a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I feel like it was filled with some really good gems that I'm very proud of. And so I guess we will end up this year. I cannot believe it's ending in literally a few days. I'm so grateful for this year. I'm trying not to get emotional, but it's already happening. I feel like I'm Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. Clearly, we know what I've been binging, so that's what's on my mind. But I'm just so grateful for this year. It was not an easy one. It was not. It was just not an easy one. It made me confront a lot of truths and a lot of untruths. And I'm just so grateful for it. It made the vision clear. It really, really did. It made everything clear. It really helped me realize what my priorities are in a way that I don't think I ever would have. And it made me stronger. Like, for real, for real. Like, for real, for real. Like, I'm not someone that y'all can play with. I'm not someone that the wind can just blow me down. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not easily moved. I have gained strength this year that is unmatched to anything that I thought that I could have, or anything that I really even thought that I needed. This year was real. I grew. I stretched this year. I pushed through this year. This year was unmatched. And there was a lot of heartbreaks this year. There was a lot of tears this year. There was a lot of disappointments, readjustments, reevaluations, all the things. But there was a lot of joy. There was a lot of laughter. There were so many good moments. Ugh. I'm grateful. I'm at the end of the day, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm just grateful for it all. And 2021, I don't know exactly what's gonna look like. I don't know how much longer we're gonna be in the house, or how much longer I'm gonna be in the house, because y'all stay out. But I I do know that it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good year. And it's just cool. I feel like 2020 kind of built a foundation, and 2021 is just gonna build on that. And it's just gonna be that much better, and I'm gonna be that much stronger. And I'm gonna be just, the vision is gonna be even more clearer, and the execution of the vision is just gonna be that much further. And it's just so amazing. And I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm just grateful to be here. It don't always feel like that though, let's be clear. But I am very grateful to be here. And so I will end this video with one of my favorite new quotes, things, whatever, that I saw on the gram that I literally love so much. And roses are red, God is on my side. In 2021, I'ma be where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. Hey, hey. So cheers to 2020. Thank you. Didn't always feel like that, but thank you anyways. Thank you next, girl. 2020, thank you next. 2021, let's get it. Period. That's it. I'm done. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the other videos. Check out my other stuff. Link down below. The videos, blogs, Instagram, Pinterest, all the things down in the description box. Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know. What is something that you learned in 2020? And what are you excited for 2021? It's going to be good. We are speaking it into existence. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. And I will see you next year.